saying that maybe there's an opportunity. Maybe we'll try it and see kind of what happens after that.
Those are very good points. Actually, like, as we can see, an idea doesn't actually need to come from nothing. It has to come from like something related to your life, a problem that you encounter. And for like Kevin's sake, like, it's not a completely new idea, but he see a gap in the market, and he applied the same idea or modify it a little bit and made it work. So a lot of people often say, like, you know, like, I come up with an idea, but I don't really want to share. I want to keep it to myself because other people are going to copy it. So what do you guys think about that?
I think my company is quite similar to Kelvin. We are not the first one to come up with the ideas on doing Facebook applications. So we understand that there are many people doing the same things like me, and I think I don't worry about people who copies my ideas, or even some people copy others' ideas. The point is execution, because when you can execute, and then I don't care people who copy from you, because you know that ideas and you know the values of the ideas, and when you execute, because we're in the IT, we are in the internet. When someone later than you for 1 day, and you will be far behind from you.
I think having someone to copy you in a way is actually good, because that means that you're doing something right. Because you know, when I was a kid, I always go to like Mongkok at night, and I'll just look at the CDs, right? And if like there's like fake CDs, that means that artist is popular, right? So you just have to kind of like really understand. I think, and I also agree with Terry, execution is really, really important. And you look at the largest social game developer, Zynga. They copy, right? Farmville is the most popular game in the world, like social game. They copy from a developer in China. So, you know, to the Americans, like they always complain like Chinese copying their stuff. So this is a very good example. But Zynga is good at not just like copying the concept, but they actually excel in the execution and also improving the original concept. It's always about improving what's already out there. You know, sometimes being good at Starbucks doesn't mean you have to come up with the original idea all the time. But if you can actually improve an existing idea to make it very unique, that's actually your edge.
In terms of sharing, I really don't mind sharing, because the reason that we are here is because we would like to share, right? And if you have an idea, just tell the one right beside you. And if he or she could do better than you, then why don't you partner with that person, right? And or if the one beside you can do much better than you, then probably it's not a good idea, then maybe you should drop it. So I think it's about uniqueness, about not only about the idea, but how you execute the idea, how you come out with solutions, how you get your connections, how you build around the entire system behind you or in front of you and beside you, and let the people support you to make the idea come true. So that's my point of view of being able to share your idea instead of all the time thinking that, oh, it will be copying my idea or being my competitor. That's not the way that entrepreneurs should think of. That's my point.
I agree that you need to share the idea for a couple of reasons, because number one, there's only so much knowledge that you have personally, and I think that people around you can help you with refining the idea or just telling you to drop the idea because it's a bad one. The second, and I totally agree that it's all about execution. It's 20/80. It's 20% idea. It's 80% execution. You know, Google is a very good example. They weren't the first search engine. Anyone remember Alta Vista? But they executed extremely well, and there they are today. But for more a day-to-day basis, mainly, I think it's important to share and to get ideas from your teammates, because there's only so much you alone can execute an idea, and if you are not getting the buy-in from your teammates, then you're just going to end up doing it on your own. And you're not going to get the support either from your colleagues, your partners, your investors, and so on and so forth. So if you don't get a buy-in and you don't share that idea and refine it, then your idea will never be a reality.
Yeah, those are very good points. And so, like, you first come up with the idea, and like, let's say you start executing it. And let's say after some time, like, maybe people start to get used to the idea. How do you reintroduce like creativeness and like creativity in your team? How do you inspire them?
I'll take a shot at it, but I think it's very much what we see day to day and what we see lagging in the market, or what we see a gap for it, or what we see things that we can improve on. I think for us as a company, it's very much how to improve on certain things, or is there something that's not available, and can we help execute that locally, and then hopefully bring that across Asia and stuff. But it's putting people together and just getting everyone to throw some ideas out. And for us, because we're not a big company, we're very realistic. We hope that every one of our ideas doesn't cost a lot, but have a big impact. But it does cost a lot of time and effort and everyone to put that behind. So it's not necessarily always just money, because I don't think that money can solve, all these operational issues and coming up with new ideas. It's really brain power that's more important.
Well, I think sometimes new ideas and creativity is a little bit overrated. Like people always talk about, you have to be very creative and all that. But practically as a startup, I mean, if you have one or two good ideas, just make sure you follow it through, and you don't have to come up with new ideas every month. I mean, seriously, if there's one good idea that you think is really core to your business, make sure you do it well. You don't have to kind of spend too much time on doing that. But having said that, I think how we encourage our staff to be creative is that sometimes we just kind of take a break, or do an offsite, and because sometimes we're too tied up with our day-to-day operations, and as a kind of an online business, we look at data a lot, and we do a lot of analysis with all the data that we collected. So because we have 45 million users on playing our games on a monthly active base, so there are so many data, and then we got too tied up. I think it's good that from time to time take a time out, get out of the office, go to a park or something, refresh your mind, and to come up with some either a totally new idea or a new approach of how you have been doing. So I think that's how we've been doing it.
And I think it's really about not exactly on creativities or ideas, but following the trend would be also very important. And knowing your strengths and core competence in order for you to transform and change continuously. For example, we started as a Web 2.0 portal. Then we realized that everyone likes to post their wedding photos on Facebook. Then we sort of shift from Web 2.0 back to a portal and implement new ideas on magazines, as well as starting our applications on iPhone and iPad, and keep on changing and evolving and building the entire business around new trends in order to make your company more active, and don't let your staff stick around with the same idea at the very beginning of the way that you started the company. So this is how I think we should evolve and change and transform. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with Arthur from SexWave. It's not that easy to come with new ideas every month. So what I can do is, we are a small companies, and I will ask my team members to do research sometimes, and we will do a sharing every Saturday. So one of the team members will present what is the latest development on Facebook, because we are stick with Facebook, and the other guys will have some personal sharing. So make sure that they can relax from working 8 hours in office. So we try to organize different leisure time for my staff, and also we will arrange a trip, my monthly trip to somewhere, maybe in Hong Kong or maybe outside Hong Kong every month. So it's kind of letting them to be refreshed or to be creative.
So have any of you ever come up with an idea that is so different in scope from what you are doing currently, your company is doing, and what do you do with that kind of ideas? Have you encountered that situation?
Well, sometimes we brainstorm a lot, especially during happy hour. I think I'm trying to prove a theory where, your creativity actually goes up with the alcohol content in your blood until it reaches a point of no return, right? But I think, yeah, sometimes we do it, and we kind of like, you know, that's how we brainstorm, you know, we relax and we talk about new ideas. But our company has been just around for 2.5 years, and we feel the field of social gaming is still growing a lot, and we have to focus. We cannot lose focus because we're still a relatively small company, about 30 people, and we are hiring. But we cannot, you know, just lose our focus and trying to do like, you know, Facebook, and we do Mixi, and we do like a Russian social network and open social. We just have to be focused. So there's always a temptation, especially for entrepreneurs, to try something that you think that, oh, no, that's a good idea. But I think we have a good team there, like more aggressive people, but there are also a little bit more conservative people. So there's a good balance within the team. So far, we haven't really branched out to do something like entirely different.
I agree with Arthur. I think, you know, as a small company, as a startup, you just got to be very focused. I think, you know, every day we can wake up with 10 ideas and say, I want to do all 10. But then you look around your office and you look at resources, there's only 10 guys around. So how are you going to do 10 ideas with 10 guys? And so you've really got to look at the strengths and the weaknesses of your company, and you got to say, what am I going to do? Do I want to do one thing but do it very well, or do I want to just, you know, throw it out there and stick? At some point in time, you have to start throwing little things out and see what kind of sticks. But you've just got to be very focused and say that, okay, this is my core business and this is what we've got to really execute well. If we can't execute well, even on our core business, why bother going playing, you know, do something else? I'm sure, Richie, when you got the furniture business down packed, then you said, we'll do a t-shirt. But I wouldn't imagine that anyone, you know, without even having your core business done properly, start going and doing crazy things.